Hi guys, I'm back today to talk about a palette, I know, shock of all shocks, that I have been kind of eyeing and I just snatched it up. It worked out because I wasn't planning on getting it, but then all of a sudden I woke up and it had launched and it was still in stock, so I just went ahead and bought it. The palette that I'm speaking of is the Huda Beauty and it is the Gold Obsessions palette. This is the outside. Super pretty. I love this. This is really, like, I could have coasters of this. I wish I did have coasters of this. This would be perfect. Huda, if you go ahead and turn these into some coasters, your girl would love that. But it was about $30 USD. This is from Cult Beauty and it is not located in the United States. So if you are in the United States, just keep that in mind. You're going to see one price and then it's going to change. It's just because of the conversion rates between the different currencies. So in any case, the inside of this little baby looks like this. So, okay, all right, let me just have a few seconds to have a few words. I know that this looks like it's been done a lot by her. I feel like a lot of her color stories have been done and done and done and done by her. She, like, dupes herself, I feel. I could be wrong because I haven't, like, done a swatch comparison between the stuff that she releases or anything like that. However, I still really wanted to try this because I don't have a lot of her stuff. I only have, I think, 2 of her palettes. I think I've got the medium palette. It was like the little one like this, but it was medium, and then the khaki haze. Now, I will say this, the more I use them, the more I like them. Originally, I really liked the way they looked, but I was kind of like, I don't know, I just thought it wasn't the best. Now, I've really started to appreciate it. Like, I'm looking at this now, and the finish looks a lot like Pat McGrath, but the texture is very similar to, like, Dose of Colors, and also, like, the Lunar Beauty formulation. There's another one out there that is like these, and I'm just, like, missing it right now. But the texture is very similar. It's, in my opinion, better than Charlotte Tilbury, though it does have a similar feel with the topper shades. Like, for me, I think that these perform much, much better than Charlotte Tilbury. And the price is way better, so there's that. The other thing is that I really feel like when I was using this, I was getting Divine Rose vibes from Pat McGrath. And if you are looking to get maybe a cheap version of that, maybe if you guys want to see a video between this and some of Pat McGrath's palettes just to see how close they are, let me know and I will happily do some swatch comparisons for you guys. I swear, I very much feel that it is extremely similar to those palettes and that kind of vibe that Pat McGrath has. I really am happy with the way this turned out. I love this look, and I'm going to do some swatches for you guys. If you want to see how I got this eye look, keep watching after that, and then I'll give you my final thoughts at the end, though you can kind of probably guess what they are. Also today when I'm doing my swatches, I just want to let you guys know, I'm going to be using the No Drama Beauty stencils. Thank you guys so much for sending me these to give a shot. Personally, I feel like this is exactly the type of formulation you want to use with stencils like this. I mean, okay, real talk, I could swatch stuff all day, and I love using stencils. My thing is when I'm doing videos, I typically like to swatch them out so you guys can see how long it takes to build up. But here's the thing with these shadows. Personally, I feel because of their topper formulation, they are a little bit different from normal eyeshadows. So this is the best time to use stencils in my mind. But it's also Sunday and it's been a holiday and it's been a year. So just saying, that's just kind of my opinion. I definitely want to give these a shot. Thank you again so much for sending these to me because they are so fun to use. Like, I swear, it's like a very satisfying feeling to swatch stuff out inside of a stencil and then to peel off the stencil and they just look so crisp and nice and clean. I love that. Like, I like to swatch things out, like, all the way, but I also love to use stencils. So anyway, I'm going to use those today. Guys, this is what the stencil looks like, and let me just tell you the nice thing. I did cut it down because it comes with 12 in this version. I have very sensitive skin, and this has not irritated mine, which is very nice. It's kind of unusual. Adhesives typically irritate me. Like, I can't wear Band-Aids when I go to the hospital and they put that tape on me. I have a really hard time. When they put the, like, surgical tape, it's awful. I usually get, like, a rash no matter what I do, and these have never done that to me. The other thing is I'll have them linked down below so you can check out their Instagram, and they give back, and I think that is so cool. Right now they're actually giving back to a children's hospital, so definitely make sure you check them out. Alright, so I'm going to start top to bottom, left to right. This is weird. There's no names. I'm sorry I can't give you names, so I'm just going to start kind of patting this in. Well, maybe I'll slide it and then pat in after. This is that very first shade in the palette. And this is a really beautiful kind of pinky, goldish, and slightly green almost kind of reflecting shade. You're going to see these a lot better once I pull the actual stencil off, and then it's going to be like the most beautiful swatches ever. It is the second one in the palette, and it's like a really beautiful peachy shade. matte buildup really nicely. The next shade is like the silvery gold shade. It's that same kind of flaky topper formulation. First shade of the second row is extremely, to me, like this is that Pat McGrath signature color. It's like that kind of reddish toned brown with a little bit of purple to it. Shade is this crazy, like aged gold shade. It's like slightly more than topper formulation. Next shade is a beautiful rose toned kind of mauve-y shade. Definitely more rose, but still kind of mauve-y. Shade is kind of like a shimmery champagne kind of shade. Pink champagne on ice. Ooh, anybody catch that Eagles reference? Is anybody even old enough to know who the Eagles are? Next shade is like a champagne gold, or kind of like a peachy gold. That might be a better way to describe it. The last shade in the palette is like the craziest gold shade ever. It's so gold, it's almost green, but it's not. A little bit of green glitter particles, tiny, like micro fine, within this. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The pulley pulley. Ooh. Like, seriously, how gorgeous is this? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh my gosh, this is exactly the moment I've been waiting for all day. Hopefully you guys can see just how beautiful these shades are.
Yeah.
I'm back, you guys. I have my eyeliner on, I have my mascara on, and I want to give you my final thoughts about this palette. When you're on the website, if you're from the United States, it's going to show that it's a lot less money, but it's in a different currency. You will be paying about $30 for this when everything is said and done. The shipping was free, though. I don't know if that's like an all-the-time thing that Cult Beauty does or if that's just a random thing, but I was really happy to see that because usually, you know, shipping from abroad is really expensive. So there's people rolling by my house kind of slow, and I'm like, I really thought that they did a good job with their shipping here safely, and I couldn't be more happy with that. The shipping really didn't even take that long for the holiday and the fact that they're so far away. So I can't really complain about that either. all in all, the experience with Cult Beauty seemed to be really, really good. And when it comes to this palette, I definitely think, like I said, if you guys want me to actually swatch it side by side with Pat McGrath, then I will happily do that, because you know your girl likes to swatch stuff. But I seriously feel like this has been giving me vibes of Pat McGrath, and you know, if you can ever get like that same kind of feel and spend less money, I always think that's the way to do it. This is certainly a really good comparison in my mind. The textures are totally different. Pat McGrath's are actually much, much easier to work with, and that is the one gripe I have about that. So these shades that are like the metallic shades, and they are gorgeous, and then like the topper shades, they're extremely hard to pick up with a brush. I've tried a couple different brushes, I've tried different types, whether it's natural or synthetic fibers, kind of works out about the same, but I do think that the best way to use this is with your fingers. Now with Pat McGrath's shadows, I mean, you can definitely apply them with your fingers and you're going to get a really extremely in-your-face kind of finish, but if you use brushes with Pat McGrath's formula, you get the same finish. I mean, you can always make it more intense, but the performance is still extremely good with a brush with Pat McGrath. With Huda, I don't feel like it's that good with a brush. The mattes are fine. I mean, that's whatever. You can brush it on all day. And they're beautiful. They blend out really nicely. But the metallics and the lid topper shades are kind of a different story, just in my opinion. So, I definitely think that this is worth picking up if it is still available. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's limited edition, but I could be wrong, so don't necessarily trust me. But again, about $30 if you're in the US. And honestly, it was a really good experience, and I think that you guys will enjoy this, especially if you want to have that Pat McGrath kind of experience, but not the Pat McGrath pricing. Definitely a really good option. Anyway, I really hope this video was helpful for you guys. If it was, make sure you like this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.